Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of African Access, it's my privilege to welcome you to the 9th Annual African Access Business Awards. We have the honor of having with us this evening many eminent industry personalities, and it's so good to see such an enthused and interesting mix of guests, sponsors, stakeholders, and participants here tonight. Shall I also say all protocol observed, because you are all important. There's a wonderful saying in that African Access Holding lives by, and that is Isandla Siyagezana. That's real Zulu that I've just pronounced. Coming from me, I've rehearsed that about 6 or 7 times. It's an achievement. May I have a... Thank you very much. Well, let's come to the meaning. I also know what that meaning is. The meaning is that it takes one hand to wash the other. Isandla Siyagezana, however, is used to refer to a number of social situations. For example, it refers to the expectation that people in communities should help each other. When one neighbor helps another, the other one who's helped will go and help yet another. Another application of Isandla Siyagezana is when everyone comes together to rally behind a community member who is in need. In times of grief, disaster, weddings, or celebration, people come together to support one another. They say, Isandla Siyagezana, with the meaning, we are all in this together. My sister, I'm trying to impress you. Tembagazi, I'm doing well, aren't I? Thank you. In business, it's a true reflection of how much a company can achieve when it's driven by a strong sense of team, a lively entrepreneurial spirit, collective work, and mutual support. And that's why we are the proud sponsors of these awards. We are here to recognize and celebrate great individuals and businesses whose achievements are changing the perception of South Africa's potential in domestic and international markets. We're here to celebrate the excellence and the positive impact that they make within the industry, as well as for their contribution towards the development of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, it's also worth mentioning that for the first time, we deemed it necessary that we'll be the first organization to recognize Stokvels in South Africa as a category in the National Business Award. Because we all know Stokvels, we all live by Stokvels. I belong to a Stokvel. This is what brought us together, and we need to recognize a cross-section of business in this country, and that's why the Stokvels. It was quite an emotional meeting when my colleague and I met Sisbusi Skenjana when we introduced this thing. When she started elaborating the work that she does within Stokvels and appreciating our recognitions of such, because I believe that's where greater entrepreneurs will come from, and we need to recognize those efforts. African concepts of self-help and mutual support, a Stokvel is a group of people who join together to pledge regular contribution to a common fund. Each member then draws from this fund, usually for a specific purpose, like a wedding, a funeral, or a celebration. This is what Isandla Siyagezana is all about, and it's for that reason that we decided to make business in Africa our theme for this year. It has been the decision of the team that I'm part of, African Access, and I'm sure my colleagues will agree with me when I recognize the people that brought us together within African Access, and that is the founders of African Access, and as your chairman, I'll order you to stand up. Sean Battleman. All right. Thabo Mpama. And Mateli Mpuncha. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the 3 guys that came up with the African Access concept. Some of us joined later, and my team, my colleagues around here, 8 of us, are driving this ship, and of course our other colleagues that are in the midst here. Remember, we cannot make it without you. We really recognize your efforts. And finally, to the business and agency you represent, to the successful individuals that you are, tonight we give you due recognition and say congratulations. And thanks for listening to me.